Good evening, and we begin at 5 with an update on the case of a missing Vancouver mother and daughter believed now to have been found dead. The family of Michelle Melendez's 7-year-old Layla Stewart now grieving and waiting for the medical examiner to officially identify the bodies discovered yesterday in Washougal. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. It is an agonizing wait for family after Michelle and Layla went missing on March 12th. Mike Benner is following this story for us. He joins us outside the Clark County Jail in Vancouver tonight. Mike, Michelle's boyfriend is a person of interest in this case. Any new charges today?
No new charges to report at this hour. Laurel, I can tell you that Kirkland Warren remains behind bars in the jail on a slew of other charges. Detectives working to figure out if he's involved in these high-profile disappearances and deaths. At the corner of Southeast Sunset View and Wooding Roads in rural Washougal, you'll find some heart balloons and flowers. And further up Wooding, a second memorial. Clearly a tribute to Michelle Melendez and Layla Stewart. On Wednesday, a passerby found what are believed to be their bodies, bringing to an end a days-long search for the missing mother and daughter.
What strikes me about this area is that while it's rural, there are still plenty of homes here. So whoever dumped these bodies, in all likelihood, they did so knowing they'd eventually be found.
Detectives have identified Michelle's boyfriend, Kirkland Warren, as a person of interest in the case due to alleged domestic violence. Back in December, Warren is accused of shooting up Michelle's apartment. After his arrest in early March, Warren called Michelle from jail and pressured her to drop the charges. And after bailing out of jail, Warren contacted Michelle again. In fact, he was with her and little Layla before they disappeared.
He was the last person to see them alive.
As family pointed out earlier this week, this was a clear violation of Warren's parole. Adding to the concern is Warren's pending murder charge in Arkansas. Court papers obtained by KGW suggest that in 2017, Warren shot and killed a 57-year-old man before dumping his body in a ditch. The alleged motive? Money.
It's very frustrating because it's like he's obviously has some issues. And why would we want that kind of a person out on the street?
That's for another day. The more immediate question is what role, if any, Warren played in the disappearance and deaths of Michelle Melendez and Layla Stewart, a mother and daughter whose lives are now memorialized in the hills east of Washougal. The National Women's Coalition Against Violence and Exploitation has been working with the family for days. The nonprofit has established a memorial fund for Michelle and Layla, and we'll be posting a link to it on our website, kgw.com. Back to you.
Mike Benner in Vancouver. Mike, we once again appreciate your reporting tonight. A man already awaiting trial for murder is now facing charges in a different homicide case. Abdikadir Osman is accused of shooting and killing 18-year-old Jackson Panya Nuvong in 2019 in Portland's Park Rose neighborhood. Now, this is a picture of the victim in that case. The suspect was just indicted. He's also accused of killing another man, Sean Fujioka, in 2020 in Southwest Portland. Osman was arrested that same year for that murder. The trial in that case is set for November.
Now, this is an incredible story, and a teenager is a humble hero tonight after rescuing a baby from a crashed and overturned car in Beaverton. That car was one of two involved in the collision late Wednesday afternoon. A few pictures of the car were posted on social media. This happened at Murray Boulevard and Southwest Milliken Way. Right after the crash, two teenage boys from Southridge High School drove up on the crash. They say they'd taken a wrong turn on their way to a snowboard club meeting and ended up at that location, and the timing was just right for 16-year-old Atan Mignon to help a young woman whose baby was strapped into their car seat inside that overturned car.
But I fit through the window and I climbed to the back seat where I see the baby was like upside down, like hanging from its from the car seat. So I tried to unstrap it, but it was just hard because I couldn't really fit back there. So I unstrapped the baby and then I just kind of tried to drag it out, but being careful because it's probably like only 3 or 4 months old. It was like really super young. Like newborn.
Just incredible. Great job, guys. It all happened so fast. He wasn't sure if the baby was a boy or a girl. Emergency crews arrived and then took over from there. They report the baby and everyone else involved in that crash thankfully were not injured.
What a story. Let's take you outside this evening. And while today marks, I believe, the third full day of spring, it seems some winter weather is once again inbound. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. So, Matt, any chance the valley could see some snow?
You know, sometimes summer weather hangs on, late September, early October. Winter can do the same thing, hang on after the official beginning of spring. And we are talking about the potential for some snow, even in the valley. I think for most of us in the valley floor, it won't be a big deal, but a little bit of elevation will make a big difference. How about a lot of elevation? Up at Timberline Lodge at 6,000 feet, you can see the snowflakes in the air there. Here's our other camera at Timberline looking out at the chairlift, and it's just dumping, and it's only 20. So it's good and cold. There will be feet of new snow there. What about the valleys? Well, we're cold. Clearly not cold enough for snow right now. It's 45 degrees. But remember, that's more than 20 degrees cooler than yesterday's high temperature. Big change. Snowfall map. Okay, this is just one model, the European model, right? So by tomorrow morning, it's giving us 0.2 of an inch of snow, not enough to cause any issues, but it's also showing nearly 2 inches of snow over in Troutdale. And if we go into Saturday morning, we pick up another 0.2 and Troutdale's up to 4 inches. So you can see there's a wide variety across the region and among the models as well. Remember, this is just one model. I don't think Troutdale ends up with 4 inches of snow, but we need to watch this carefully because we're getting all these indications that snow will fall to the valley floor. The most likely scenario is little or no accumulation on the valley floor, but above 500 feet up in the hills, a trace to 2 inches possible tomorrow morning, especially Saturday morning, and then again on Sunday morning. So yes, winter is saying spring, not so fast. We'll have more on this later, guys.
It seems like spring has taken its own spring break. Thank you, Matt. The Rockwood community in Gresham will soon welcome a new multi-million-dollar facility geared toward the Latino community. It will provide a culturally specific preschool and act as a community hub. But it still needs around $4 million in funding to make it happen. Daisy Caballero reports.
And this is a huge investment in the Gresham community, Rockwood, and East County as a whole.
Portland nonprofit Latino Network is in its final stages of fundraising for a new multi-million-dollar facility off Southeast 165th and Stark. It's called La Plaza Esperanza, and it will have a culturally specific preschool, a hub for social events, and more resources for the Latino community.
We really started a lot of our programming in the Rockwood neighborhood of Gresham, so we've learned a lot there, we've responded to community needs there, and it remains such an important part of our community today, where 35% of the population is Latinx.
The 18,000 square foot facility will cost $21.5 million. So far, they've raised $16 million, with hopes of being up and running by the fall of next year.
We're currently asking for the state of Oregon for an additional $4 million in the project, and they can make that happen in June of this year as part of the legislative session.
According to Latino Network, about 50,000 Latinos live within a 5-mile radius of the new building site. So having this facility readily accessible to the Latino community would be a game changer.
I think our number one goal is really making sure we have places that we feel safe in, we feel welcomed in, and we can really thrive as a community. And when you don't have that kind of place, you do it, but it's harder. And with La Plaza, this place of hope, we really see this as not just an opportunity to deliver service, but really to thrive as a community overall.
DeFalco says Latino Network will also provide workforce development programs to get certified as an early childhood development educator, so they can provide the Latino youth with high-quality, bilingual, bicultural education so they can thrive in their future goals. Daisy Caballero, KGW News.